Hello, 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 my friends. If you are tuning in, please let me know. I'd love to know that you are here. A little surprise live stream today. I am sitting here working on tomorrow's video, and I thought, well, while I'm here, why don't I just say hello and let you know that I'm alive and I'm working. So I see Addicted to Antlers is here, as well as Beth Mahoney. Good to see you all. And let's see, Addicted to Antlers says, "How's your back?" Well, it's doing pretty good. All things considered, I'm doing all right. It is still a little sore and stiff, but overall, I'm doing a lot better. So thank you so much for asking. It gets a little stiff when I sleep. So when I wake up in the morning, it's still a little stiff, but that's all right. We're doing okay. We're doing okay. So looks like my dad is here. Hello to you. True Essentials Homestead is here. Says good morning. Kathy Hume is here. Marty Crum is here. Raina Bledsoe is here. It was really good to see you guys. I am having some fun right now. At least I'm trying to have some fun. So what I generally do is I get all of my video editing done and go in then after the fact, and I handle the doing all of like the audio type stuff. You got to like adjust all the audio levels so that you guys can hear me properly in the video, and I've got to handle like adding in music. It's all sound design stuff basically. So I'm going through and I'm doing all that. The sound design is basically done on this. Once that is done, then I go through and I do a color correction. If you guys don't know what color correction is, color correction, color grading, all of that kind of stuff. Basically, I'm going in and I'm using my editing software and I'm trying to make it look nice so that it doesn't just look like it comes out of a cheap camera or something like that. And that's kind of what I spend a lot of my time doing with my video editing. And I think it's part of what makes my style a little different. But it's a lot of fun. So it does take a lot of time, though, and a lot of work. And maybe here when I get into it, if you guys want, I'll unhook the phone from the tripod that I have it on, and I'll swing it around, and I'll just kind of give you a little look-see at what it is I'm actually doing here. Let's see. We have Addicted to Antlers says, "Have you tried chiropractic?" Yes. So I have not recently, but I've done chiropractic stuff for a long time. I used to have like headaches and different things that I would struggle with in my neck. So I haven't been to a chiropractor in a long time because I was so overweight. It's like, okay, well, I'm going to have it fixed. And then it's going to go right back out because of all the issues that I was having. But I'm getting down to a size now where I think it would probably be a good thing. Once the excessive pain of this back issue went away, I was like, okay, I'll go see a chiropractor. So I haven't yet, but I plan on doing that soon. So Lori is here, says hello from Alaska. Hi, Lori. How are you? Crystal is here. Crystal, good to see you. Suzanne, happy Friday from Massachusetts. Marjorie is here. Hi, what's cooking? At the moment, nothing, but later is going to be salmon. I'm going to do salmon for Ash and I tonight. So that's going to be really good. Lynn is here. Good to see you, Lynn. 22Q Cat. Hello. You caught me on the treadmill again, so I'll just be listening in the background. Good to see you, Crystal. Lynn, I'm so glad you're here. And thank you so much for listening. Lynn is an OG. She has been here since pretty much the very beginning of this channel. And I think she is on almost every single thing I do. And she is just the greatest. Beverly is here. Hello from Saskatchewan. I bet it's cold where you are. Love you and Ash. You guys rock. Beverly, you rock. And we love you. Beth Mahoney says, I'm bummed I didn't get to go to Keto Palooza. I really wanted to meet you and Ash. Well, Beth, we really would love to meet you too. I'm sorry you didn't get to come. But if you get some time, we would love for you to come see us at an event or a show or anything where we might be near you. So we would love to meet you, Beth. We would love a big old hug and just getting to say hey. So Sybil is here. Good afternoon, everyone. Ash Taylor is commenting that little blue wrench. Look at there. Hey there, cutie. Ash is getting ready to go run errands, and I'm in the YouTube cave working on stuff. And so I told her, I said, I'm probably going to go live. And she was like, okay, cool. She's like, well, I'm going to go run my errands. So there she is popping in. Visual Keto is here, catching up on replay during my break at work. Well, hi, Visual Keto. Really glad that you're here. TPC Delisle, as my dad says, we're having salmon tonight too. Yeah, salmon's good stuff. So, well, let's see. So I've got my clip colors all set here. If you guys have questions, by the way, this is just a fun little Q&A I wanted to do while I was starting to work on a color grade here, because if you've watched my last few videos, you might have seen there's some colored sparkles that are showing up, like multicolor sparkles in places. That's not an intentional effect. That's not something I put on there. What essentially is happening is when I edit my videos for you guys, and I'm trying to make them, look visually appealing so that they're easier to watch, and these kinds of things. There's lighting, and there's sound design, and there's editing, and there's color grading. There's all sorts of stuff that goes into this, and I've learned how to do this because I also am now doing this for Ash's music videos. And I'd even like to be able to do this maybe for other people for fun, and maybe make a little extra money on the side, because this is a big thing, and it's taken so much just to learn what I know, and there's so much more to learn. But when I do this, essentially what comes out of an iPhone is footage that is in a color space called Rec 709, and that's how your computer, your TV, your whatever device you're watching this on, Rec 709 is the color space, or the colors that your TV or computer can kind of calculate and understand what to put on screen. But there are multiple different kinds of color science that work with different color spaces. So there's Rec 709, which is what you watch things in on broadcast and on the computer and on TV. But within programs like what I'm using here, which is called DaVinci Resolve, there's also things like DaVinci Wide Gamut, DaVinci Intermediate. And then there are things like ACES color space and different things. And essentially, it's a larger color space where the computer can calculate more colors than what we can really see. But it changes the way the program behaves. So when you color everything the right way, it looks really nice. And then you bring it back to Rec 709 before you put it on YouTube, so that when it shows up on your TV, it looks really great, but it's all calculated properly. But it makes working with the color space a little bit different. So I know this has nothing to do with keto or carnivore, but I just would love to explain this to you so you know why I'm doing this. So those multicolor sparkles you're seeing in the background in my kitchen videos is because I'm putting things in DaVinci Wide Gamut, which is this huge color space. I'm working on it, bringing it back out, putting it back into Rec 709 where you see it. And when I'm doing that, the iPhone, there's some things in there that it's pushing it too hard. It's doing something weird. I got to figure out why, and I got to fix that so that you guys don't keep seeing multicolor sparkles in my video, or that I can at least minimize it. That's kind of one of the problems with filming with an iPhone instead of an actual like cinematic camera. But I don't have $10,000 to get a cinematic camera, which is about the amount I'd have to spend to really be able to notice a huge difference from the iPhone footage. So if someone out there is independently wealthy and wants to buy me 10 grand worth of camera gear, let me know. Otherwise, we're going to make the iPhone work. So PJ St. Pierre is here. Hey, Ash. Hey, Chris. Greetings and salutations. Good to see you, PJ. And Sean is here, SD Bradley. Good morning, all. Well, good morning to you, Sean. We're going to be seeing Sean in Virginia sooner than later. We met him at Keto Palooza, too. He and his wife, Michelle. Wonderful people. Addicted to Antlers. When do you think you will get finished with Ash's Stuck on Indiana music video? So I haven't started editing it yet, but this coming week, I'm hoping to start editing that. That, if it goes the way her other videos have, those take me anywhere from 30 to 50-ish hours usually of editing and color grade and all that kind of stuff. So I'm hoping to have that done within a week or two, provided nothing goes crazy wrong, or we don't like struggle with something or whatever. I should be able to get to that, but I'm going to hopefully, once I get this video done, next week's recipe video, we've already started filming, and it shouldn't be as complicated as some of the others that I've done recently as far as editing goes. So we should be able to get to her music video quickly. I want to prioritize that because I want her to have a great video that she can put out sooner than later. So hopefully within a couple of weeks that'll be done, and then she'll figure out, how it is she wants to release that and when that's coming. So keep an eye on Ash's stuff, ashtaylor.com, if you guys would like to see that video when it comes out. And she'll announce all of that. It'll be on YouTube, on her channel, and all that. So Mary Gitson is here, first time catching a live. Hi, Mary. Well, I'm really glad you caught me. This is a totally different live than what I normally do, but should be some fun. John is here. I have a couple huge chuck steaks and sous vide for dinner tonight. That sounds good. We had steak last night, and I'm going to have to show you guys how we do these. TPC to Lyle, my dad says, John, that sounds good. Yeah, my dad and I both love steaks, especially in the sous vide. Pamela's here. Good morning in Southern California. Hi, Pamela. How are you? And Beth says, are you going to be doing a what I'm cooking for Thanksgiving video? So I'm going to be doing a number of videos related to Thanksgiving. But yes, I will definitely tell you guys what I'm doing for Thanksgiving. Now, speaking of Thanksgiving, that's going to lead me to, you saw the title of this video, hopefully says something about giveaways. So this coming Tuesday, we are going to do a giveaway for the original Knife Saga knife set. You guys know I'm partnering with Knife Saga, and we are going to be doing some really cool stuff with them. One of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to give away the original knife set that they sent me before I was partnering with them. And we're going to do that this Tuesday on the live stream. So if you guys are interested in the knife set, make sure to tune into that. We would love to see you there. And that way you can potentially win yourself a brand new knife set. I literally used it for one thing. And other than that, it is brand new. We've packaged it all back up. It's all nice and clean, ready to go. It's super sharp, ready to be used. It's fantastic. And we're going to be doing more giveaways with them. They are partnering with me, and it's very, very cool, the things that they are doing. But I have some really great stuff to give you guys. But we're going to start that off by giving away this knife set. And we're doing it in time for Thanksgiving. So if you are going to be cooking a Thanksgiving dinner, we might be able to get you a brand spanking new knife set to do it with. I would love to be able to send that out to you. So if that's something you are interested in, please tune in this Tuesday, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's 7 p.m. Eastern. Tune in to the channel, jump on the live stream, and we're going to be giving away that knife set. So we also have a bunch of cool giveaways that are coming. So I'm going to be doing a giveaway for just the Patreon group and the YouTube memberships. So if you're a member of the band, we're going to be giving away the tasty air fryer you guys would have seen me do. We're going to be doing that soon as well. So watch your YouTube membership posts in the community tab or the Patreon group. If you're on Patreon, watch that for instructions on how you can be a part of that. So we're going to be doing that. And then when December rolls around and we have, all of the Christmassy type things going on, we are also going to be doing some really cool giveaways. We're going to be doing, I'm not sure exactly when we're going to do this just yet, but we're going to do a massive holiday type giveaway that allows us to do some really cool stuff for you guys. I have a whole bunch of keto chow. I have all of these different kinds of products and just different things. When you do what I do for a living, you tend to collect a lot of stuff. So I would love to share all of the amazing things that people give to us with you guys. So we are going to do exactly that. We're going to share a whole bunch of just the stuff that we have collected over time, and it's going to be very cool. We're going to have a whole bunch of stuff to give away, so I would love for you guys just keep an eye out and come benefit from the fact that we have a whole bunch of stuff that we can't possibly use it all. So I'm sorry if I'm talking slightly distracted. I'm just making sure I'm doing this correctly. Yeah, there we go. Cool. yeah, so that's kind of what we're going to be doing is giving a whole bunch of stuff away. We sort of feel like, you guys have been so kind to support us, and we would just really love to be able to give some really nice stuff to you and to share the many things that we have been blessed with. And it makes us very happy that we have those kinds of things to bless you with as well. So that's exactly what we intend to do. So we've got, like I said, the Keto Chow. We've also got some uh, some of like the Chalk Zero, like some candies that we got at Keto Palooza, and we're going to give some of those away. It's just not something that we really use on a regular basis, and so there's not really a reason for us to keep them around. I mean, I tasted, we had a couple of boxes of them. I tasted one; they're good, but it's just not something that I would um, that I would typically do that kind of stuff. It's just not what I do. So it's just not the way we do things. So we are going to uh, give that stuff away and just share. We'll basically ship it out to you guys. You're not going to have to pay for shipping or anything. I'll cover the shipping costs for you, any of that kind of stuff. So we're going to be doing some giveaways. So what questions do you guys have? What can we do for you today? How can we help you? And I mean, that's anything from the kitchen to the the different recipes to, hey, have you ever thought about this kind of video, or do you have a recipe for that? Anything you guys want to know, you tell me. You tell me what it is that you would like to know about. And let's see here. Oh, I missed one. There we go. Adjustment. So what I'm doing is I'm in the process of adding all of the different color stuff that I have done to my videos. You can save that from one vid and use it from one video to another, and it's called a power grade. And I'm going through and adding things one at a time, figuring out which one do I add in that suddenly starts causing the sparkles. And I may have actually found it. Yeah, I think I did. Let's see here. So we're going to zoom in and I'm going to see if this is actually happening, or am I imagining things? This is one of the things that, a lot of people don't realize on these kinds of videos and stuff. It's like the amount of time that I spend going through doing this kind of stuff is wild. So, and truthfully, I wouldn't necessarily have to do this. I could totally just be like, nah, I'm just going to kind of let it be whatever it's going to be. And I mean, I could totally do that, but that's just not me. I just try to do everything all the way. So, yes, please hit the thumbs up. My dad says hit the thumbs up. That would be very much appreciated. Thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all these things. Tell YouTube that we are here. Share and tell your other friends that I'm here, because I'm just here hanging out. I'd love to hang out with you guys, and I'd love to answer questions. And if no one's here to ask those questions, I don't know that they have questions. So please let me know what everyone would like to know. Let me see if I add this back in now. Yep, there they all come. Okay, so we have tracked down the source of the problem. Actually, when I make sure that there's not another source of the problem so that I can look at all of the different ones here, I'm going to show you guys what it is I'm actually talking about. And this is pretty cool. At least I think it's cool. If you guys think this is super boring, you can tell me like, hey, shut up about the color correction and just talk to us about, recipes or whatever else it is you would like to know about. Okay, so all good still there. Let's see. Beth says, how about some recipes for keto carnivore homemade foodie gifts for the holidays? That's a fantastic idea. And what's funny about that is I've actually considered making some things for family members as gifts this year. So, Beth, you're smart. You are smart. You're right there. You are right there with me on all of that stuff. Yes, I think I would love to do a video or two on kind of how we could do that. So I think it's a great idea. Let's see. So there's our blur and our external key and blur, sharpen, and mist perfectly. Okay. Let's see what else we got. John, hey, Chris, have you tried to make a keto sloppy Joe? You know what, John? I have not. However, I will because that sounds fantastic. And most of the time I'm carnivore, but occasionally I do like keto stuff because it just makes me happy. And it doesn't necessarily agree with my body as well if I do it too much. But on the rare occasion I do have something keto, my body handles that. And I think keto sloppy Joe on my carnivore burger buns would be amazing. So let me think about when I can do that. I would love to do a keto sloppy Joe. So wonderful, wonderful suggestion, John. You keep an eye out for that. I would love to do that. Let's see. Raina says several weeks ago you did a cocktail/cocktail recipe. I only saw one. Did you do more than one? So that's the only one I've posted. I am in the process of experimenting. I will be doing more for sure. The next one is probably going to be a keto yoo-hoo chocolate, like yoo-hoo type drink with salty. We spent some time with the Keto Chow folks and using salty and all these different kinds of things at Keto Palooza. And I mean, first of all, what a joyful time just getting to spend some time with Keto Chow. If you guys didn't know, I have a Keto Chow link in the description, and you can go and get salty or you can get Keto Chow from them. You can get a discount using my link, and they are just wonderful people. And if you don't use stuff like Keto Chow, like that's cool. You don't have to use it. I don't use Keto Chow on a regular basis. I do, however, use the salty electrolytes every single day. And they have unflavored ones. If you don't want any of the flavors, you can totally get the unflavored ones. But I absolutely love them. And I love the people at Keto Chow as well. Let's see. Who else do we have here? Patricia, since I live alone now, I'd love to learn how to cook roasts that I can portion out and freeze some for later. Patricia, that's a fantastic idea. Let me think about ways that I could use a large cut of meat and then get multiple meals out of it as an individual person. That's a fantastic idea. And I have a few things that I do with that, but I don't do a lot of them because between Ash and I, we tend to eat everything within a couple of days usually because, I mean, me being carnivore, I'm eating all meat. She's meat-heavy keto, kind of leaning carnivore, depending on the day. And so I will think about that and I'll see what we can do because that's actually a really fantastic idea. So thank you for that. That's good. Let's see. Beth says, do you have a recipe for something like carnivore bar or keto brick? I do not, but the carnivore bar is basically like a pemmican kind of style thing. Keto brick is a little bit different. Keto brick takes a little more science to make than the carnivore bar. But I will think about that. I think, if you took my beef jerky recipe, that's kind of headed in the direction of becoming a carnivore bar, but you didn't do totally different things with it. Let me think about that and see if maybe I can come up with something for you guys that you could use like that, because it's a really great idea. Maybe I can do my version of pemmican kind of thing for you. Sean wants to know, I was wondering if your ravioli shells would make a good covering for an egg roll. I know you had a hard time getting the noodles to stick together. Yeah, so the difficult thing with doing an egg roll is usually you have to have something that will stick together when you roll it around something. And you also have to have something thin that will then become crispy when fried. The issue with the ravioli shells is when you make that, if you would fry that, you're going to get maybe kind of a crispy brown thing, but it's going to taste burnt before it gets the right texture. So I'm still working on egg roll wrappers. I'm trying to come up with an idea of how I would do that, and I'm not entirely sure exactly what to do with that. That is a really difficult kind of thing to do. So I am definitely working on trying to come up with something there, but it's proving to be rather difficult, which is okay. But it is very difficult, shall we say? So nothing wrong with that. It's just kind of a thing you just have to know going into it, like, this is going to be difficult. So I will definitely be working on that. So, okay. So let me just real quickly, just for fun, and then I'll get back to the comments, but let me just for fun, I'm going to undo my clip here with my phone, so bear with me just a moment. Sorry, I'm shaking you guys around. So let me show you what I'm actually looking at here and explain why this is a thing that I'm doing. So I'm going to pull you over here so I can actually see. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm actually working on this little side of everything over here. And what this essentially is, I'm going to resize this. Yeah, there we go. So what I'm essentially doing is I'm working on this stuff over here. And each one of these things has a little bit of something done to it, okay? So if I take, for example, and I slide this over, and I'm going to zoom back out so you can see. Okay, so this is just a still frame of the video and I'm working on, and you can see all of my clips are down here. I'm working on each one of these clips. So this is what I do with every single video. So I go through all of this. So there's my still frame. So if I take and I turn everything off, I'm just going to highlight everything here. And I turn all of this off. Okay, so one more. I think that should be all of them. Okay, so what I did is I just turned all of those different things off. Now, watch what happens when I start adding them in one at a time. So this one right here at the beginning is changing this from that Rec 709 I was telling you about into DaVinci Wide Gamut. I know that looks terrible, but then I come here to the end, and I'm going to change it from DaVinci Wide Gamut back to Rec 709. So now it looks normal again. Okay, so this is basically what comes out of my phone. This is just what I see on the phone, and if I didn't do anything to it and I just posted it, this is what it would look like for you guys. But this is why these videos take so long to edit, amongst many other things. So first of all, there's my exposure, which there's not a huge difference, but as you can see, it changes a little bit. Okay, that just gets everything exposure-wise set right. Then I'm going to change the contrast, which is how lights compare to darks. Okay, now you can really see a change. That starts to clear everything up. Balance is making sure white looks like white. So it's a very subtle change. You might not even be able to see that on YouTube, but that's what that is. Temperature and saturation is how warm and how saturated all the colors are. So now you can see that really starts to add in a lot of extra color, but that's a little bit too much, but we'll deal with that in a minute. Then I do this thing, it's called de-sharpening, which it's really hard for you to see, but I can see it just takes some of the excess digital sharpening out. Then I have, these are each one of these is called nodes. All of these over here, they're called nodes. So then I'm going to come over to my adjustment node, and you can see that just kind of takes some of the weird oranginess out of my skin. Then I put a glow effect on there, which is subtle, but it just makes it look nicer and more natural. Then I have what's called a film look, which makes this look like it was shot with a film camera instead of an iPhone. Okay, then I have grain, which is part of film. Then I have halation, which is also part of film. And then I have this compound node here, which offers a little bit of a blur. Let me see if you can see this when I turn that on. It's kind of hard to tell, but it helps blur the background here slightly so you can see more depth. Now, the problem was this one right here, this look node. Whatever I did in there, something was causing a problem. And it turned into a whole bunch of weird, sparkly things, and it was really bothering me. So I had to go back through every single one of those nodes. I had to turn off, figure out which one's causing my issue. And now that I figured out it's the look node, I've turned that one off. I completely reset that one. And now I'm going to go back in and I'm going to redo that look node. And I'm going to put the look back on it that I want. But that way I'm not struggling with sparkles everywhere. So there you go. There's a little free random look at the color correction. And this has to be done on pretty much every clip. Normally they're all shot in the same place with the same lighting. So I can do it. I save it as a power grade, which is just all of that information. I can copy and paste it from one video clip to another. I can just put that across all of them. But sometimes different clips work a little differently, so I have to check each individual clip. And in this particular video, this is about a 20-minute video by the time I get done editing it. This is 400 video clips. So I have 400 video clips in this one that I have to check just to make sure everything works. So it's really quite the process. So, very interesting. So, okay, let's see what we got going on in the comments. Thank you guys for indulging me there for a minute. Pamela wants to know, what do you eat or put on a menu on everyday week? So what I'm doing most of the time, you guys see my recipes, whatever recipe video comes out on Saturday, that's what we had for dinner, whatever night that was. Whenever I'm doing a Tuesday night live stream, whatever you see me cooking, that is what we have for dinner that night. And then the rest of the time, a lot of it is like beef patties, chicken, salmon like we're having tonight. Very simple things. It's usually meat and eggs, or just lots of meat in general for me. Maybe I make like a beurre monté or like a butter sauce, or some other kind of thing that kind of jazzes it up a little bit. And then for Ash, some nights I make a veggie for her and some nights I don't. That's what we eat most of the time. And then the recipes that I do, that's when I get experimental, and we have some fun with that. The only time I eat something that's not just meat or that kind of stuff that's outside of my recipe video filming is if I'm experimenting and I make it and we have it for dinner. So that's about the only time. So I eat really simply most of the time. And then when I feel the need, I go in and we do a little bit of experimentation there. So that's basically what I do. So let's see. I'm going to adjust my balance here a little bit on this one node because it's a little heavy, just a little heavy. So it's a little too red, and I don't want to totally overdo everything, but yeah, that's looking a little better. And I'm also going to turn off a compound node that has that blurring effect, because this is the other thing, is you adjust things, you have to kind of sometimes turn certain things off because you get very machine processing heavy things going on, and it really struggles until you can turn a few things off, and then it's like, okay, cool, now the computer can function properly. And then once you get the computer functioning better, then you can go from there. So, and you can turn things back on. But there's a lot of things to consider when you add different things on there and different things that you're doing. So, okay, so our mids are a little blue, so we're going to go slightly in that direction. Too much yellow. This also comes down to color theory, like what colors are opposite from each other on the kind of the color theory wheel and all of those different kinds of things. So, all right, and it's just a little too warm, so we're going to bring the temp down just slightly. Yeah, there we go. Okay, let's get back to some comments here. What do you guys got? How's Ash doing on her carnivore journey? Is she more carnivore, ketovore, or keto now? You both look great. Well, thank you, Raina. So Ash she vacillates between keto and carnivore. So she kind of lives a ketovore style. She does not do full carnivore, but she doesn't go just straight keto either. She leans more in the meat-heavy direction. Some days she is carnivore, and other days she's more keto or ketovore. And honestly, one of the reasons for that is because we actually were talking with Alyssa, one of the coaches in the PhD group and Dr. Barry's group at Ketopalooza, and she was explaining women's hormones and why some women do much better certain times of the month, especially with more carbs. And I think it was really, really helpful for Ash. I think it meant a great deal to her to have someone kind of help her figure that out and sort of get some of the answers that she has been looking for, and I think that was really, really helpful for her. And so there are times where she definitely does better. So with more carbs. So there are some times where she is more carnivore, and then there are other times where she goes more keto or ketovore, and she feels real good about that. So she just kind of does whatever her body needs, and that's where she just kind of where she lives. So it works really, really well for her to do that. So Mary says, I like the sound of gifts for family and friends. You seem to come up with great food items. I would love to gift to doubters and see what they say. Yes, totally understand. Yeah, one of the best ways we can help people is to understand that, they don't necessarily believe what we do, which is fine. And so with that being the case, we need to be understanding of that. And then we can do a really good job, hopefully, of kind of winning them over slowly with understanding. And I think that is one of the best things we can do. So just my 2 cents on that. There's my mom. Says, Mom here reading the comments and watching the video without sound. Have a bunch of teachers out. So I'm the ISS warden today. Wave at me if you get the chance. Hi, Mom. Oh, funny. John, I'm ketovore. I know it has peppers. That's why I said keto. Yeah. Yep. I understand, John. Listen, no dogma here, right? Like sometimes I'm carnivore, sometimes I eat keto stuff. I have a cheat meal every now and then. And you know what? It works for me. And if somebody doesn't like it, that's cool, but it is what it is. Matt Franklin says, hey, Chris. Hey, Matt. Good to see you. And Milady Laugh-A-Lot is here. Hello. Good to see you too. Michelle Gollenvarg is here. Would be nice if you could change the website so individual recipes could be linked. I don't know how many times I've wanted to send someone a specific recipe link. Yeah, so here's the deal. I totally get that. That would require a massive amount of computer programming knowledge I do not have, because that is a service that I use, that I pay for, that hosts all of that. It would be massively expensive and would require a whole lot more computer and website design knowledge than I have, because every single recipe would have to be hosted with a different URL because of a different page. Not only would it cost me a fortune, but it would require programming knowledge I do not have. So there is a search bar on that page, though. So all you have to do is go to that page and type in the name in the search bar, and it'll pop up. Lynette is here. Hi, Lynette. Oh, so glad Lynette jumps in. She is the best. And guys, again, if you don't know about Keto, Chow, and Salty, you need to go to my link down there and go try some, because Lynette can hook you up, as well as all of the other folks there at Keto Chow. They are just wonderful. We got to have dinner with Lynette and Chris and Miriam and just all of the Keto Chow folks. We love getting to hang out with them at Keto Palooza. So Lynette, we love you. We appreciate you guys so much. And tell Chris to get another cool shirt, because I love those. So hopefully we're going to be headed out to maybe go out and do some stuff with Keto Chow in the future. So we'll be talking with them. See what we can do. PML is here. Hello from Germany. Well, hi to you. You are a long way away from Nashville. That's awesome. Okay, so now we're going to go. Yeah, okay. So I have basically the look done that I want for this video. So I apologize, but I'm going to show you guys this again. I'm just going to roll you around here, so forgive me. Okay, so we're just going to bring you around here. So let me show you guys kind of what I got going on here. So this, I'll just pull this over here so you can kind of see this really good. Okay, this right here is what I am basically expecting this to look like. That's what this started out looking like, and that's what it looks like now. Do you see how that is just so much more visually appealing, and you can just watch the video looking like this so much better? That is why I do the work that I do, because it just makes the videos look nicer and more professional, and I don't have $10,000 worth of camera gear to give you guys just the most amazing video content out there, but I do the best I can with the iPhone footage, and that makes a huge, huge difference to take the time to do that work. I think it just hopefully means something to you guys because it works so well and does hopefully some really good things for you. So anyway, so that's what I'm doing, and it looks to me as though I have fixed our sparkle issue. And yeah, everything is good. So by the way, this video I'm working on that comes out tomorrow is a baked mac and cheese, because what would we do this upcoming time of year with all the get-togethers that are happening if we didn't have some good old baked mac and cheese? So this takes my new pasta recipe that I, use so much and love so much, and shows you guys how to make a nice cheese sauce and how to turn this into a wonderful, wonderful mac and cheese. And Ash said it is her favorite carnivore, keto type thing that I have ever made. So you guys get ready for this one. It's going to be really, really good. Cool. So now what I'm going to do is all that work that I just did that makes that look that way, I'm going to click what's called grab still, and it's going to grab a picture of that, of me in my meat shirt. And then it's going to move that over as a permanent thing. And then I can put that same information on all of the other clips. And we're just going to do them one at a time and make sure. I'll probably do all of them, and then I'll go through one at a time and make sure that it doesn't do something funky to any of them. This is why sometimes things like those sparkles and things get through, because I have so many clips. And then I go through it and I think everything is good, and then I find out later on it's actually not. But we do the best we can and we learn each time. So let's see what's going on in the comments here with you guys. Everybody's saying hello to everybody. I love how supportive the community is. You guys are just the best. Let's see. Kathy, oh wow, thank you for being committed to producing quality videos. We truly love your channel and grateful for all you do. Well, thank you, Kathy. I appreciate that. I just want you guys to have the best quality you can, and honestly, using an iPhone, it just needs a little help to make sure that it's worthy of you guys paying attention, not just the recipes, but the videos themselves. I want to be really great. So Sean says, anyone else having withdrawal symptoms from KPL? Well, Sean, I'm interested. What kinds of withdrawal symptoms are we talking about here? Because I've had a couple of things, but I'm curious what yours are, and maybe we can compare notes. It's very interesting. PJ says, wow, you are so smart. Well, I appreciate that. I don't know if my wife or my mother or my father would agree with you. Depends on the day, I'm sure. No, I'm kidding. But, I've just done a lot of work to try to learn how to do this, because not only does it matter for the YouTube channel, it also matters for Ash's music videos and her content. And we're entrepreneurs. We do everything ourselves. We rely on you guys, and we just cannot do any of this without you. It is just only possible for us to do all of this because you guys are here, and I just want to make sure that I put in the work to give you the very best that I possibly can. And it's a learning curve. I mean, it's taken me 1.5 years to get to where I can do what I can do now, and I still have so much to learn about this. Like, people that do this professionally for like Hollywood, like this is the program most Hollywood colorists use to do this kind of stuff. And the stuff that they can do is just amazing. And I try to learn it, but it is a very deep rabbit hole to try to go down and learn. So it takes a long, long time to get good at this. But I appreciate you so much. Maggie, the substitute teacher, is here, and she gave me a super chat. Maggie, you are the sweetest. We love you. She is amazing. If you guys don't know Maggie, the substitute, you should go follow her. Go click on her channel, follow her. Subscribe, watch her videos. She does a whole bunch of different things with food, not just like keto, but like gluten-free and like all different kinds of stuff. It's just a great place for great information, and she tests recipes. And there's a bunch of other stuff on there that's not just cooking, that she gives some great information and some great advice. And I think many of you may find her channel very inspiring and very informative. So you should go find Maggie and subscribe to her as well. We love her. Barry Weems is here. Good afternoon, my friend. Hope you and Ash are doing well. We are. I am just in the midst of color correcting the video for tomorrow, and then once I get it rendered, which it'll probably take it an hour or so for it to render all this out, then I upload it, and then I have to do the analytical stuff and the whole YouTube side. So it's a busy day, but it's all good. But we're glad to see you, Barry. Lisa says, just getting started on the carnivore journey. I'm struggling with what can offer variety and still be 100% carnivore to make for my husband's lunch that he takes to work with him. Well, Lisa, I have a whole bunch of videos on here of things that are carnivore, and you can modify it by what seasonings you do or don't add and what ingredients, like, if there's certain ingredients you really stay away from, like that kind of stuff. Totally get that. My carnivore bread can take 1 or 2 times of making it to tweak the amount of egg white powder that you use so that it works. But once you get that down, sandwiches for lunch. I mean, like, go back to, simple, like, we know how lunch works kind of stuff, but it can be totally carnivore. Especially if you can handle the dairy, put the cheese and the meat, and you can make my butter mayo, and you can make the bread. And I mean, you got a carnivore sandwich for lunch. It's amazing. I do that kind of stuff all the time with it. So, very glad you're here, Lisa, and I'm very glad you're just starting on the carnivore journey. Congratulations. If you have questions and need help, lean on us here in the community, and I'm always available if you're really struggling. So, Keto Simple is here. Dustin, that is my brother. Thank you so much for being here, Dustin. And he says, we're humans. Yes, we are. We had a blast getting to meet Dustin in Louisville. That was such a joy to get to just meet him and get a big old bear hug from him. I mean, that just made us so happy. Like, we love Dustin. He is a great dude. He has an incredible channel himself called Keto Simple. You should totally go double check that you are subscribed to Dustin's channel. He also put out a video I saw that was all about added ingredients, like when it says natural ingredients or natural flavor, what are those ingredients actually doing, and like what kinds of ingredients actually are those? And I think it's a really cool video. I watched the whole thing. I loved it. It was fantastic. I truly enjoyed that. I think you guys would as well. So go over to Dustin's channel at Keto Simple and give him a subscribe and watch some of his stuff, because he is the dude. It's the best way to say it. He is the dude. So we love Dustin. Let's see. Let me slide this over, and then let's see what we got going on. My mom smiled, so she obviously saw me waving. Health or bust? I was finally able to make part of a live. Yay. Well, hey, I'm glad you're here. This is a totally different kind of live, and it's a fun one for you to drop into. I love that. Jennifer Lucas is here, says, good afternoon, beautiful people. Well, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world to you, Jennifer. You are beautiful people. Dustin says, Lynette rules. Yes, Dustin is right. Let's see. So Gullenvarg says, doesn't exactly need a separate URL. Remind me what you're using for the site. Let me see if I can figure something out. I'm a pro computer geek. So I use Squarespace hosts the website, and then there's a company called Recipes Generator that generates all those recipe cards and creates the code that is embedded into the website. It's just a one-step process. So I go on the website and I take their code and I input it into the page, and it does everything else. And that's it. So there's nothing you can really modify or change about that, unfortunately. I've looked into it. Maybe you can find something I can't, but I have not been able to. Lynette says, Dustin, you rule. And Lynette is also right, because as great as Lynette is, Dustin is also great. PML says, top bad, no keto chow in Germany available. Yeah, unfortunately, I know that with shipping and international trade and all these different kinds of things, sometimes keto chow, getting things like that in other countries can be very difficult. So I'm sorry that you are unable to get it there. But if you make a trip to the United States, you can pick some up while you're here. Hearts from Dustin. Hearts, Dustin. Beth says that really makes a big difference. Nice job. Yes, it really does, for sure. And there's my mom being appreciative of Arena. Patricia says, yummy, my favorite. Yes. PML says, I lived in Clarksville for years, now back home in Germany. Well, that's really cool. You weren't very far from me. Dustin wants to know if I have a stuffing or a dressing recipe. Oh, you keep an eye on the channel, my friend. Sooner than later, you're going to be very happy, I think. Sunny Chronicles wants to know, is that video editing software DaVinci Resolve? Yes, I have DaVinci Resolve. I have the studio version, and I also have the speed editor, which is why I can fly through my video edits on here. And I say fly through. I don't really know if I'm flying through, but I'm getting faster as we go. So we're getting there. So, but yeah, good stuff. DaVinci is the industry standard for color grading, and it is fantastic. I love using DaVinci Resolve, and honestly, I really enjoy getting to do the color grade stuff. That's why I would actually love to kind of get the opportunity to do this for other people's videos. I think that would be kind of fun. I won't have the time to do it like as a full-time job or anything, but I think it would be fun to try doing this for a few people and just kind of see what they think. So I really enjoy getting to do this kind of stuff. It really is kind of a passion project, I guess, sort of a passion hobby, as it were. So I really enjoy getting to do this kind of stuff. So if you're a YouTuber and you're like, hey, Chris, I'd like for you to try color grading a video of mine for fun, and I'll throw you a few bucks if I like it. That might be kind of a cool thing. Just to test it out, just test my skills and see if I can do it for you. Yeah, so let's see what we got going on. Lynette, I'm so sorry. Hopefully someday. Yeah, she's talking to PML about the Germany thing. Yeah, hopefully Keto Chow can eventually spread, but it's a big deal, guys. Like, I know people tell me all the time I should start a food business, and as much as I appreciate that, you guys have no idea how much work goes into that, most likely. I mean, it is. I haven't been near as deep into it as Keto Chow is, and just the little bit that I've looked into and done, I mean, it is a massive undertaking. So, it's a real challenge. Beth says, OMG, baked mac and cheese. Yes, and it is amazing. And True Essentials Homestead is looking forward to Saturday's recipe. Yeah, if you guys like mac and cheese, hit that thumbs up button for me and share the video and just let me know that you love mac and cheese, because we got 41 people watching and I've got 45 thumbs up, so obviously some people left. But if you haven't thumbs up, please do so and tell YouTube this is fun, this is cool. Keto Simple says, Sunny, yes, it's Resolve. That's correct. Yeah, Dustin and I geek out about Resolve every now and then. That's what I thought. DaVinci is hard to use for me. LOL. Yeah, Sunny, DaVinci is very cool, but there is a learning curve to it. And if you learn it the right way, it's great. And you can become real quick and automatic. But it does take some intentional investment up front to get used to it. I used to do everything in CapCut on my phone and then transfer it over to DaVinci and just do the color grade. I've since gotten to where I do everything on DaVinci, and even the free version of DaVinci has so many amazing things, far more than something like CapCut. It is just the best, but the studio version is even better. It's amazing. Let's see. Lynette says, withdrawal symptoms coming off of a weekend high. So many friends in one place that are so supportive. Yes. And Sean says, missing the people, kind of like going and seeing everyone for the holidays, then the holidays are over and nothing. Yes. Yeah, I've been feeling like we've come down off of this huge emotional high, and I've been very tired. Granted, we were also doing this for like 3 weeks on tour and all of that before and after. It's just been a lot, so I'm not surprised. But yes, absolutely agree. Dustin says, Sunny, I started using DaVinci as my first in computer software. I looked at people like Daniel Vitale as well as a bunch of others on to navigate effectively. Yes, Darren Mostyn is also a great one for the color grade. Amazing information. TJ says, we were singing your praises in a Dr. Boz Keto support group. Thank you for doing what you do. We love sardines and looking forward to some fun recipes with the miracle fishes. Yes, thank you, TJ. I really appreciate that. And yes, I actually just bought a 12-pack of cans of sardines that's going to be showing up like tomorrow because I was craving sardines, and I would definitely love to see what I can do with some sardines for you guys. Pamela says, ever thought of doing a cookbook? I would buy it. Yes, I have. And I'm looking into the legal side, like how do you publish and what's it going to cost and how do you print and distribute and the whole thing. Because there's a lot of business aspect to that more than just writing it. But I'm definitely going to. It's just figuring out when and how we do that. So Dustin says, Lynette, no joke. I feel like KPL needs to be quarterly. Yeah, I understand. John says, baked mac and cheese. Just sprinkle seasoned pork rinds on top of mac and cheese recipe and bake. Yes. Pork rinds on top don't make mac and cheese a baked mac and cheese recipe, though. This is a lot more in depth than just the pork rinds on top. But you can totally do the pork rinds on top of any mac and cheese, and you can go from there. Depending on the recipe, though, you can very quickly dry it out and not get that same baked mac and cheese feel. So. Sonny says, yeah, I don't have the patience right now. Maybe someday. Yeah. Da Vinci takes a while. So when you have the time. Kathy says, can't wait for baked mac and cheese. I'm trying to figure that one out with your pasta. Can't wait to see how you ditch the flour. We missed my 4 cheese one. Yeah. Well, you're going to be able to modify this with whatever 4 cheeses you like to use, and you'll be able to go right back to doing that. I think you're going to love it. It's going to be good. Sonny, I've been using it to make. Yeah, Dustin's been using Da Vinci since 2021. Autumn would have to outsource it, Sean says, if she did Keto-palooza quarterly. Yes, totally agree. Lynette says, my goodness, could you imagine the work that would take? I can only imagine. Sonny uses CapCut. That's if you're going to use something on your phone, CapCut is probably the best that I've seen anyway. Dustin says, Lynette, I'd have to find someone to fund me to be able to go. Yeah, that's the thing. As much as I love doing it, like it's just an expense, and I love being there to support, but my bank account doesn't handle that well. So a little bit expensive. Yeah. Oh, Sonny subbed to Keto Simple. That's great. Nourishment Redacted says, I use Da Vinci too. Very cool. John says natural flavoring could be literally anything. Yes, Keto Simple had a great video that he did on that. So you should totally go check it out because he actually did the research on what kinds of things is that typically and what does all that mean. It was a really cool video. Barbie, you are the sweetest. She gave me a $20 super chat. It says, got some ingredients in my Amazon cart. I'm stoked to experiment with your bread and noodles recipe. Thanks for posting your recipe cards on your site. Barbie, you are so sweet. You are so welcome for all of the recipes and the cards and everything. If you have any trouble with the bread or the noodles, please let me know. You can send me an email or whatever. Let me know, and I'll be more than happy to tweak some things with you and help you get it right. Because it can take practice a couple of times. Because I mean, these are not the same techniques as we've all grown up understanding as food. This is doing weird things with ingredients that there's not a whole lot of information out there doing this. So it can take a couple of times practice until you get it right. So if you have any trouble, you may nail it on the very first try. I've had a bunch of people that have, but if you don't, that's totally fine. You just message me and I'll be glad to help you out. Bruce is here, says, howdy, folks. Hey, Bruce. PML says, Lynette, thank you. Yes, we are waiting for Keto Chow over here. Yeah. Dustin says mac and cheese in the bet is the best. I happen to agree with you, Dustin. That's exactly why I was like, this would be a good one to start off the holiday time of year because people are going to need this kind of recipe with all the get-togethers coming up. Let's see. Bruce says, I use OpenShot. Can't get Da Vinci to run on my computer. Well, that's a bummer. Yeah, there must be something there with maybe the I don't know, either the software, the user interface, the OS, the operating system, maybe it's the age of the computer. I'm not sure. Nourishment Redacted uses the free version. Yeah, that's what I did for a long time. I used the free version, and then my brother-in-laws and my wife were so kind as to get me the speed editor over here, and that came with DaVinci Resolve Studio, which I really wanted. So I'm using the Pro Studio version now. There's some extra effects, and it operates a little bit faster, but if you don't get as deep into it as I'm trying to go, the free version honestly does pretty much everything you would need for years and years and years. So Barry says, what kind of soda do you drink, or is that can of water? This is Waterloo Lemon Lime Sparkling Water. So no sugar, no sweetener, no nothing. sparkling water and some lemon lime flavor, and that's it. We keep sparkling water around like that because I just really enjoy that. Let's see. Dustin says, Bruce, try version 19 and resolve. It's so much smoother than the last two versions. I agree. They really fixed some of the bumpiness of some of the other stuff. So people saying hello to each other and complimenting each other. I love the community here. So great. Mrs. Newton's Big Family Big Noise is here. Hey, Chris in the chat. Good to see you, Mrs. Newton's Big Family Big Noise. Oh, yeah, I meant mac and cheese, but if you prefer men and cheese, I won't judge. That'd be a little weird. I think my wife might have something to say about that if I was on board with that. Let's see. Jeff Simmons says, just stumbled on this. Well, hey, Jeff, so glad you're here. Everyone's saying hello. L Green, hey, Chris, make sure your giveaways don't fall under the lottery laws. Wouldn't want you to get in trouble. Oh, yeah, there's no worries. No worries. Yeah, lottery laws are a weird thing, but there's no money involved, so we're good. It's just freebies that we're just going to send to you. And let's see. Sunny Chronicle says, got to go back to work. Enjoyed your live. Well, thank you, Sunny. Have a great day and have fun at work. And yeah, let's see. Keto Simple Dustin says, one of these days, I want to get the studio version. There are a bunch of closed caption stuff I think would go a long way. Yeah, there's some really cool, especially like the AI type stuff, which I have mixed feelings about AI things. I think there's places where it's very useful and it's really nice and really helpful. And then there's other places where I'm like, I feel like this is just going a little too far. But generally speaking, there are some great AI type things on the studio version that are actually very, very helpful. And I think some of the automatic captioning type stuff and those sorts of things is fantastic. Really, really fantastic. So, let's see. So I'm just going through and I'm adding my color grade that you guys all sat here with me while I developed. And I'm just adding this to all the clips. And then once it's added to all the clips, we will go in and I will review all of them, make sure all of my sound design and volume levels and everything else are good to go. And then I'll be able to export this video and start the process of uploading everything. So, isn't this stuff fun? Don't you guys all want to be YouTubers? This is why when people, you get the random people that complain about the channel and they're like, this is stupid. That's not this. This is not that. Whatever. It's like, you can tell it's people that have never done this and know nothing about doing this because there's so much more that goes into this than just what they think you're not doing right. So, it's great. It's great. Let's see here. Lynette is heading out. I hope you all have an amazing day. Keep being awesome. Lynette, you keep being awesome because none of us can be near as awesome as we are if we are awesome. We cannot be that without you and being as awesome as you are and all the other folks there at Keto Chow being awesome. So thank you for what you do. Have an amazing day. Tell everyone there we said hello. We love you guys. Sherry Reagan is here. Hello, Sherry. Good to see you. And PML says, just looking up Keto Simple. And yes, liking it. Great. Great, great, great. John says it might require a high-end video card. It could be. Could be. I don't know a lot about computers from that side of things. I don't really know about how to make them work very well when it comes to things like video cards. Jennifer says, as amazing as AI is, it is scary invasive. Yes, there are some things about it that are a little concerning for me too. I think it's just learning how to live with it because unfortunately I don't think it's going anywhere. PML is subscribed to Keto Simple. Perfect. There we go. Well, that's very cool. Guys, I love how we can all just support each other and we can do all of this kind of stuff together. It just makes what we do together so much more fulfilling because it's like we're all in this together, right? That whole kind of thing, like that's kind of the deal, that's what we do. So um we just appreciate how supportive you guys are of each other and of us, and how you do all of these things that just take care of the community, how you all support each other. It's really amazing. It really makes us feel like what we do matters, because it's not really, Ash and I were talking about this, it's not really us. We are sort of a focal lens that the community can kind of center in on to all interact with each other, because we have a channel where everyone can come. But it's not about us. It's about the community and the work that we do to try to support you guys and be loving and kind and all these things we do together. That's what this is all really about. We just happen to be sort of the figure you see on the screen, but it's really about you guys and your interaction. And that's what we figured out at Keto Palooza, is just like all these people coming up saying hello, giving us hugs, and wanting to, take pictures with us and stuff. Like, that is so incredibly humbling. You guys have no idea how humbling it is for me to have so many people like come up and want to take their picture with me. Like, it doesn't make me feel like I'm somehow more important. And actually, it makes me feel less important, because I realize it's about those people. It's not about me. And I think that's a really wonderful thing. And I was very blessed to experience that. I think a lot of people who have a public image, and we see this as musicians, a lot of people that have a public image forget why they started doing the thing that gave them a public image in the first place. And Ash and I were reminded the reason we started doing this was to help people. And it's about those people. It's not about us. And it was so wonderful, so humbling, so beautiful just to meet everybody and be able to take our picture and like have people tell us how what we do has helped them or inspired them. It's so encouraging to us to keep doing the work we do. And I mean, what a beautiful and humbling thing to have people tell you that what you do makes an actual difference in their lives. And I mean, you want to talk about something that inspires you to keep working hard and do more things to help more people. That is the kind of thing that inspires us. And that was the goal when I started the channel. I set out to be able to do that for people. And I'm very, very blessed. The Lord has given me a wonderful blessing in this channel and the community that it encompasses. And we just love you guys, and we love being able to do this stuff for you. And you being here and you supporting what we do makes it all worthwhile. And I can't begin to express to you guys the amazing, humbling experience that is. So thank you for all that you do. Thank you for loving Ash and I the way that you do. And thank you for wanting to come up and take pictures with us and give us hugs. And, I mean, that we're human like everybody else. And knowing that people value what you do is amazing. It really, really is. I can't be more descriptive than that with it, because it's so hard to put into words what that actually means. So we just love you guys. True Essentials Homestead, subscribe to Keto Simple. That's what I'm talking about. He says, Dustin says, without this community, I'd be lost. You and me both, brother. PML says, thank you, Chris, for all your great recipes. I cooked a lot of them already. My favorites are your butter mayo and the ranch dressing that I use for dipping my meat in. Dude, my wife loves that ranch dressing. Like, actually, so does a buddy of ours, Scotty, that is like been in some videos, and he takes care of Mel when we're out of town if she can't go with us and that kind of stuff. I mean, that ranch dressing, I literally made him some of that as a thank you for watching Mel, because that's what he wanted. He was like, I want you to make me some ranch dressing. He's like, I don't care about anything else. I want you to make me ranch dressing. I said, oh, okay. I'll make you ranch dressing. So I made him a big container of ranch dressing. And he's all about that. He's like, it is literally the best ranch dressing I've ever eaten. And my wife agrees. So, as long as she's happy, I'm happy. So that's That's super cool. I'm so glad that you enjoy those, and you're very welcome. I love creating these things. Jeff Simmons is also subscribed to Keto Simple. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, Dustin, we're picking you up some subscribers today, my brother. Look at that. All of these wonderful people in the community here willing to come and support you and watch what you do. How awesome is that? Let's see. John says AI is okay. Just don't give it too much power. We don't want a Skynet situation. Yes. If you guys aren't fans of the Terminator, you gotta go check that out. That's funny, John. I love that. Yeah, I agree with you. I like AI as long as it's kept in its lane. I just don't want it to get out of control. And I know there's some places where it's being used for things that I don't necessarily know if I think it should be used for. But that's me. That's my opinion, which doesn't really necessarily count for a whole lot sometimes. So all good, but let's see. So I am 236 clips in, and we have about 400 total. So it just kind of gives you guys an idea of about kind of what this process is like to do this. And I do this for every single video. And the longer and more complicated the video gets, the longer this process takes. So love doing it. Do not in any way begrudge the work. I'm very thankful to do this. The fact that I do this is the reason I don't have to sit in a patrol car and do security and potentially risk my safety on a daily basis anymore. So I'm very thankful for this opportunity. So definitely do not hear me complaining. No complaining. Just a realistic and objective understanding of the fact that this is what it takes to do these videos. And, it's a whole behind the scenes thing that most people never see. So what I'm doing right now is I'm going through and on video clips that are real close up. I'm not using that depth effect that I was telling you about, the blur depth effect, because there's no depth in the video for it to. It uses AI. There's no depth in the video for it to work with. So it would just be unnecessary processing power, and it would make it take much, much longer for this video to render out if I added that onto every single one of those clips. So I have a version that has the depth effect, and then I have a version that doesn't have the depth effect. And that's the deal. So that's what I'm doing. Let's see. Dustin says it was so cool seeing you and Ash get to experience KPL. Man, it was an experience for us that we valued and had so much fun with. It was really, really fun. Just getting to meet everyone, especially. And he also says KPL is like hanging out in a hug for 3 days. Yes, totally agree. That's a great description of that. That's amazing. P&L says ranch dressing for the win and fire. Yes, ranch dressing indeed. I grew up in the Midwest, so ranch dressing was like a staple at pretty much every restaurant I ate at growing up, because in the Midwest, it's just like a big deal everywhere you go. Serve it with everything. I mean, they used to serve like their mozzarella sticks in most of the restaurants that I ate at when I was a kid, like with my grandparents and everything. A lot of times they served ranch dressing with their mozzarella sticks instead of marinara, or at the very least, they'd serve both. So, Sherry says, isn't it wonderful that friends enjoy your recipes? Way to barter. Yes. Yes. What's funny is I didn't even have to barter. He literally was like, hey, this is what I want. Okay, well, that's easy for me. I'd be more than happy to do that, man. Like, that is simple. Like, you want to talk about, an easy request. It's like, I can make that ranch dressing. I've done it so many times. I can make that ranch dressing in all of 5 minutes probably. So I am more than happy to do that anytime. And let's see. So this is a good example. I've got a clip here where I am outside of my studio lights, and it's just not quite where it needs to be. So I'm actually going to come to my exposure node, and I'm going to bring my exposure up so that everybody can see what I'm actually doing. So we're going to turn off the, yeah, there we go. Just have to turn off the heavy processing of that blur effect so that I can see what I'm doing. Bring our highlights down, bring some of our shadows up and some of our dark areas up. Yeah, there we go. Cool. Yeah, so this is the kind of stuff that people never see, that it's like, okay, so I'm going to do this little thing here that kind of makes this all work, and and then we're going to do the exact same thing to the next shot because it's too dark. Yeah, I feel like, not that I am in any way the person to teach it, but I feel like there could be a masterclass for people that like watching YouTube to understand what it is like to actually do this kind of stuff. Okay. Yep. So this is where it slows everything down when we're doing these kinds of videos, because it starts to bog everything down, because I have to go into each individual clip and, change different things, and, totally okay. It's just a thing though that you have to do, and you have to go into every single clip and do that. So, because the lighting on this was different, because I walked away from the area of my kitchen where the studio lights were shining on it. And so it looks completely different to the phone than all of those other clips, which then requires a completely different approach on maybe at least a couple of things. There, a lot of it you might be totally fine, but there are spots where you have to be able to sort of develop the look and make things a little clearer for people watching the video, so they're not just like, oh my gosh, what is going on? Okay. Excuse me. In case you guys can't tell, fall is here, and with all the leaves falling and the weather change, I'm sneezing a little bit. Happened the last few days, big time. Let's see what we got going on over here. Sean says, I didn't know about the keto community at first. I thought it was just a bunch of people making videos. I never realized this community is like a big family, a family that supports each other. Sean, I'm right there with you, man. And once I figured it out, that's why I started my channel, because I needed support. And I thought, rather than going somewhere else and looking for the support that way, I wanted to keep myself accountable and have my own community that just could help keep me valid and focused and doing all these things in what I was doing. And I thought, maybe 5 people will show up. And if that's all, that's okay. I'm totally all right with that. But I mean, here we are. I'm getting close to 108,000 subscribers. I mean, it's ridiculous. I never imagined this, and the community is the reason that has happened. So, Dustin says, Sean, I found this community about 2 years in. I started to share my journey and hopefully let people know that there is hope and a way to take the power back away from food. It took a bit, though. Absolutely. And Sean says that's the best thing about Dustin's channel, and I agree. Dustin has such a cool channel. I would love to see him get a lot more subscribers, because his stuff is very encouraging and I love seeing it. So if you haven't subscribed to Keto Simple, please go do so. He's just a great dude. PML says, this is the first time YouTube notified me for this live chat. Please excuse any spelling errors. I'm a 65-year-old German woman healing my husband's my diabetes, and it is working. Listen, that's amazing. And you put all the spelling errors in you want. I don't care. I'm good at translating spelling errors, and at least in English. So no problem. I'm just glad you're here. We appreciate you. So, and good for you and for your husband. That's amazing. Emily says, dude, I don't know how your brain can handle doing a live stream while you're editing. I couldn't even microwave sausage for my kid while editing a video this morning. Emily, you're very sweet. I think, to be honest with you, I have done this so much at this point that a lot of this stuff is just kind of set in stone for me. It's just almost so automatic that I'm not even thinking about it. And like some of these things, like the color grade that I'm putting on here, after I went through all of those different steps, there are a few things there that I had to do very specific things to, but a lot of this is very built in. Like I know my keyboard shortcuts for certain things, and I just kind of I make it as efficient as it can possibly be. And then by doing that, it turns into kind of a just a matter of factual thing. That's really what it is. By doing that, it allows me to get so much done in such a short period of time, and I have to do that because I mean you have to remember I was in a position where I was working, full time, and I was teaching guitar lessons, and I was doing music with Ash every chance we could, and I was running the YouTube channel and doing all my editing and everything. Like all of it was done all at the same time. And so I just got really good at making things efficient so that I could just fly through stuff. And I really think that is the only it's the only thing really that allows me to kind of do that. And efficiency and being able to kind of multitask in this way is a skill that I had to pick up, and I'm very glad that I did, but it's not necessarily an easy one. So and I'm also going to go back through this after the live and just make sure I didn't miss anything. But I have to do that anyway, so there's no reason that I can't do it while I'm on a live stream. Let's see. P&L says, my doc is impressed and was asking what we are eating. That's amazing. And as Dr. Barry always talks about, this is how we train doctors to become students again and look into this. They see the change, and then you go, keto, carnivore, low carb, whatever it is you're doing. And, maybe the first time they hear that, it's like, that's stupid. You're going to kill yourself. But as they keep seeing it again and again and again and again, and they keep having success with patients doing it, it makes them stop and think. And that is powerful. And that is how we, from the bottom up, start changing the system instead of from the top down, expecting the government and big food and big pharma and all these other people to somehow magically decide to get on board and say, screw the profits. Let's just get on board. That's a whole thing. So let's see. Keto Simple, Dustin, PML. I'm a 45-year-old American and I can't spell or type most of the time. You're in good company. Yeah, I struggle with it sometimes too. PJ says, Chris, you have done amazing things. The recipes, the tone of this channel. What an amazing young couple you both are. Thank you for every single thing you have done for us. Very grateful, PJ. PJ, thank you. You are very welcome. Thank you for being part of the community and giving me a space to do it, because I really struggled with some things in my life, and getting things under control and having a community that would support me and be there for me in the process of trying to get my own health figured out, and then allowing me to do this and try to give back. That's one of the most amazing things I could ever ask for. So it's truly, truly great. Dustin says, Emily, I feel you on that. PML says, English is not my native language. My American husband is a great teacher. Well, that's awesome. That is fantastic. And Dustin says, English is my native language, and I still find ways to mess it up. I love that. Dustin, you're funny, man. Dustin being in a live stream is just one of the best things. When he is in the chat is always more fun. Jeff Simmons says, PML, congratulations on the diabetes. 6 months carnivore, and Monday reviewed my labs with my doctor. I no longer have diabetes. Keep it up. Rock on, Jeff. Good for you. Amazing. Everybody put a rock on in the comments for Jeff. How amazing to reverse your type 2 diabetes. Like just incredible. Incredible. PML says, Gesundheit. Thank you. And that's the language that originally comes from. That's amazing. Mare is here, or Mare, Mary. I'm not sure if I'm mispronouncing your name. I apologize. Just can't get over the amazing kitchen wizardry. About to try the mashed potatoes version 2.0. You never let me down with a recipe. You need a cookbook. Yes, I'm definitely going to work on one. So, Joan says, why do you say to use only fresh mozz when making mashed potatoes? Just curious. So the reason I use the fresh mozzarella instead of the like shredded mozzarella is two things. One, the water content of fresh mozzarella is higher, so it blends up in a more grainier, different kind of way, which affects the texture as well as the water content of the mashed potatoes. So it's textural. It's also flavor based in that. And then the other thing is the protein structure of the fresh mozzarella is a little bit different. It's not as stretchy. So when you blend it in there, you don't get this ending goopy sort of thing. If you get the regular mozzarella and put it in there, when you try to heat those mashed potatoes up, they get kind of stretchy and sticky. They're still good, but they're not as good. So that's why I use the fresh mozzarella. It's a great question. RGV Texas is here. Hey to you. Says, Chris, when I make carnivore bread after it cools and I slice it, I'm seeing a grayish section towards the bottom of the slice. Have you experienced this? Yes. So what that means is you need just a little bit more egg white powder. If you get too much egg white powder, you get memory foam. But if you don't get enough, there's a number of things that can happen. One of those things is this gray section you're talking about. It can sink. You can get a wet texture. You can get density at the bottom. There's all different kinds of things depending on other factors. That gray section, what you're seeing is the exact same thing that happens when you overboil a hard-boiled egg and you get that gray layer around the yolk. It is the iron and the sulfur interacting, the iron in the yolk and the sulfur in the whites. When you put it under heat, it's interacting, and iron sulfide comes out of that chemical reaction under heat. That's that gray layer. It's just iron that's already in there. It's not bad for you. It's not going to hurt you to eat it. It's just not very appealing. But if you use just a little bit more egg white powder, it keeps that suspended, so it actually stays mixed throughout the bread instead of the iron bits settling out as it cooks. That's all it is. But if you don't mind the look of it and it still tastes good to you, you can go ahead and eat it. It's not a problem. But if you want to try to get rid of that, just a little bit more egg white powder just to create a stronger protein structure so that it cooks without that settling out. So, great question. Let's see. Dustin says, rising tides raise all ships. Yes, absolutely. And he says, congrats to Jeff Simmons. That's amazing. Yes, absolutely. Emily says, so you're saying you have recipes for your editing? Yes, absolutely. So my recipes, my editing, my guitar playing, all of this all goes back to efficiency and the way that I learn and the way that I process. That's what I'm actually really good at. That's why I teach guitar. That's why I do all these different things. That's how it all works. And so it's not just the recipes or the guitar. It's everything. That's the way I approach everything in my life, which is why I have so many completely unrelated things that I seem to be good at. So let's see. There's a rock on Jeff from Sean. And Jeff says, thanks, Keto Simple. My doctor has a few patients doing carnivore, but still isn't willing to try it yet. I think she's coming around. There you go. Keep working on her, Jeff. Just slowly and casually keep working. Just keep giving her information. She'll come around when she realizes it's working. And Mare. Okay, Mare is how you say it. Well, thank you for confirming that. Thank you. Dustin says, Jen Lucas, are you still in the chat? Are you going to make Chris's carnivore mashed potatoes for Friendsgiving? It's a great question. And there's Lynn says, there's our science lesson of the day. Love it, Chris. Thanks, Lynn. I do seem to have a science lesson that comes out in just about every live stream eventually. Dustin says, I was today years old when I learned about eggs and discoloration. Well, there you go. There you go, Dustin. I'm glad to help out. Cruising Grandma is here. So glad to join my first live. Chris, you have changed keto for me with your recipes. You are like a food scientist. How you come up with the ideas is amazing and delicious. Well, thank you. I appreciate that so much. And I'm so glad that I can help. It's changed things for me to come up with these recipes, and being able to just share them with you guys makes just a world of difference. It really, really does. So, Let's see. Sean says you need to borrow Keto Chow's sciencey stuff with Chris. Yeah, that's right. That's right. All right. Well, guys, we're like an hour and a half into this live stream. Goodness gracious, I've been talking a long time and just been working, and I didn't even realize. I am ready to dive into the sound element of this, and you guys are not going to want to sit here and just listen to all sorts of random noises and volume changes and all of that, because that would be a lot. So I'm going to let you guys go today, but I appreciate you. Make sure you have liked and subscribed if you would like to see more stuff like this. I'm having fun doing these random lives like this, and especially when we talk about things that it's keto, it's carnivore, it's food, it's all sorts of different things. I love doing it. Make sure to go check out the links in the description down below. Keep an eye out on that Knife Saga set on Tuesday for the live stream. We're going to be giving that away, so somebody make sure you are ready to go on there. We're going to have some fun and give that to somebody. And we have a bunch more things with Knife Saga coming. I have a bunch of other giveaways coming as well. I'm going to give you guys some free stuff. So just make sure to tune in. Make sure you are here on the channel. I've got the mac and cheese recipe coming out tomorrow, so make sure you're ready. And we will see you guys soon. Dustin says, smash that like button. Yes, please smash the like button before you go. And make sure to comment if you're watching this on the replay that you were here. Let us know what's going on with you. I love every single one of you guys. Thank you for being here. This is Chris Cooking Nashville. Eat your meat. Sometimes edit your videos. Love your life. We'll see you in the kitchen for live streams, recipes, maybe here in the studio for videos, and who knows where else. Bye, guys.